Okay, hi everybody. David Fogel, CEO of the Symphonina Foundation, back with you for another Symphonina Foundation podcast. And it's my pleasure today to be joined by pianist Kristina Marinova. Kristina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, David. I want to say it's a great pleasure to be on your program today. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's wonderful to finally meet you. I've been really enjoying listening to your compositions and as well as your podcast interviews.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that at the Symphonina Foundation. We like our listeners, and we appreciate that you're one of them. Kristina is an absolutely marvelous pianist. Grew up in Bulgaria, ended up with a master's of performance in piano at University of Michigan. We're going to cover all that today. But first, let's start with your album, which is out recently. The bus came by and I got on Grateful Dead Piano Works, which is a departure from Rachmaninoff and Bach and Liszt and the classics. So let's talk about how you got into doing that, your project. I think it came out in June, if I remember correctly. I've been enjoying listening to it.
Thank you. Yes, my project came out on June 6th. I just want to say it's been a labor of love. And I put a lot of work and a lot of time into it. It attempts to capture the sonic tapestry of the Grateful Dead's music, spanning from their inception, the period between 1966 to their award-winning, critically acclaimed three-album live European tour in 1972. The band, as everybody knows, were renowned for their eclectic style. So this was one of the things that was actually challenging to capture on a single instrument.
Yeah.
But their eclectic style of using rock and folk and country and jazz and reggae and blues and gospel and psychedelia and everything is in that project. So as I said, it presents a very unique set of challenges for an artist who was, as you mentioned, raised on the music of Bach and Rachmaninoff and Mozart and Scriabin. The transcriptions, they're trying to present the intricate interweavings of Jerry Garcia's expressive lead guitar's work. As you know, he was a banjo prodigy, and also he had a very particular style of picking on the guitar. His guitar picking is way longer than the other musicians at the time. Also, another interesting characteristic of the Grateful Dead style is also the contribution of Phil Lesh's innovative melodic bass lines. He pretty much invented a new way of playing the bass. Mm-hmm. And also Bob Weir's, who played the rhythm guitar. One interesting feature that I found working with the music was his use of the chord inversions and also voice leading, which is very innovative as well. So it was a wonderful effort to put all of this together and to try to transcribe it on the piano. But I really tried during my work to capture the true sound of the Grateful Dead and to really show their body of work and their style and everything that they were doing. This early period is also important. I find that Phil Lesh's contribution was quite important because he was really inspired by Ives and Stockhausen and Reich's music, the 12th tone, the music of chance. And so you can really hear it in their music. The set list of the project is designed to resemble a typical Dead concert from that era, but it's condensed into 75 minutes of music instead of the marathon that they were
the marathons, exactly, right.
Right, it's 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
One very important thing about the Grateful Dead was they were very prolific songwriters during these years, and even though some of the fan favorites might not appear on my album, I'm planning to actually add on those later. I'm also already working on the next period, the next album, which is going to show the 73 to 77.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very, very excited about that.
We'll stand by for the sequel. That's great.
Yes, it's going to be a sequel. Yes, yeah. And this album is going to be released next year. So I just want to talk a little bit about the pieces on the album. The journey begins with the album's namesake and the psychedelic masterpiece, The Other One, which is a tribute to Neil Cassidy's counterculture icon and the band's metaphorical bus driver. The other one was written by Bob Weir and Bill Kreutzmann. I'm also combining it with the song called Cryptico Envelopment, which is a Garcia song. And it's a medley. The Cryptico Envelopment actually later served as a prelude and postlude from that period between 67 and 71. So I'm opening with the Cryptico Envelopment, which is transitions to the other one and the medley, and back with the Cryptico Envelopment. Next piece on the album is another medley, actually, which is about 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with I Know You Rider. And that's one of the fan favorites, actually, combination, which was performed over 500 times. Wow. The set continues with Hurts Me Too, which is one of the beloved Big Pen's essential blues contributions. The set will be complete with Bob Weir's Black-Throated Wind, El Paso, and these are more like whimsical, saloon, ragtime shuffle of the Ramble of Rose, which is one of Robert Hunter's lyrical gems. And the set too opens with the soaring harmonies of Uncle John's Band. Uncle John's Band is very special to me because this is one of Garcia's songs, which was inspired by a Bulgarian. He was inspired by the close harmonies and also the irregular rhythms. Okay. And one very interesting characteristic of this song is actually the rhythm goes from 4 to 3 for 2 measures, and it's quite an uncomfortable change. And it took some time to really make this transition seamless. It doesn't appear much. This kind of a gesture does not appear in the traditional classical sense composition. So It was a very interesting challenge to overcome. Jack Straw follows with Garcia, and we're trading vocals on this country classic about friendship and misfortune and the Great Depression. And then next on the program is a rock and roll medley, which is Good Loving and To Turn On Your Love Light, Not Fade Away, and finishes with Going Down the Road, Feeling Bad. And the album finishes with Broke Down Palace, which it's very well, I Love You More Than Words Can Tell. And perhaps is the Grateful Dead way of saying thank you, and certainly it's mine.
Yeah, and the way we can say thank you is by having a listen, and I encourage everybody to do that. It's great that you're going to do a follow-up too. And I guess I should ask 2 questions. One is, when did you get hooked on the Grateful Dead, right? And the other is, when did you get hooked on Rachmaninoff, Liszt, Bach, and all the other guys? I'm presuming a little earlier. You probably got them when you were starting playing piano as a kid.
Yes. So the Grateful Dead, I started listening to the music about 10 years ago. My husband is a big fan. He has been in numerous concerts, and he's been following the band for many years. We listen to the Grateful Dead in our car, in our home. Our children can sing all the songs. Fire on the Mountain is their favorite. And I start really getting intimate with the music about 2 years ago. After a conversation with him, we were talking about programming and concerts, and then he said, Broke Down Palace would sound so beautifully on a piano solo, or in a piano solo arrangement. You should probably program it in one of your concerts. So I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And then I really start playing around with the music and trying to arrange it for solo piano. And I really start falling in love with it. There are some extremely interesting things about it in the structure, in the compositional techniques. There is a lot of merit and there is a lot of value about this music. So I start having really a lot of fun. And then I always like to challenge myself, actually. Yeah. I always like growing and getting better. And so I start, having fun with the rock and roll songs and then the blues songs. And I want to mention, actually, that in my earlier years, I played in the gospel church. So I've always loved playing that music. So blues is actually very special to my heart. So yes, that's how I arrived at the idea of actually recording an album.
So when you grew up in Bulgaria, I'm guessing the blues wasn't the first music that you listened to, though. Probably classical, I'm guessing, was maybe the first. Maybe there's traditional folk Bulgarian music too, but before you came to the United States and did your master's at University of Michigan, I'm guessing you were exceedingly proficient already in Rachmaninoff and Bach already. What kind of upbringing did you have, and when did you get started on the piano? Who was the teacher who influenced you?
Yeah, I started playing the piano at age 3, and by the age 4, I started taking lessons. My parents recognized my potential for music and musical talent, and so they signed me up in a community center called Shalom Aleichem, which is near my house. I started taking lessons there, and then later I was admitted to the Academy of Performing Arts and Dance. I was the youngest student. I was only 6 years old in the class of Svetlana Koseva. I'm very close with her even until today. We're great friends. She has a wonderful, wonderful class of students. They win a lot of competitions and represent, the classical world very well. And Svetlana also specialized in Moscow. So I was exposed to Rachmaninoff and Scriabin at a very early age. I'm also Rachmaninoff is one of the composers that actually come very naturally to me because I have fairly large hands and long fingers.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
and
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and also the Russian sentiment it's very close to my nature. I'm like a very passionate and very emotional person. So I understand the music of Rachmaninoff and Scriabin, and I really enjoy performing them. I have played most of the concertos, Rachmaninoff concertos. I played the Scriabin concerto as well. That's one of my really favorite concertos, piano concertos. I also had the privilege during those early years, I had the privilege of working with a wonderful piano professor called Boris Romanov during master classes in Ohrid. He was the head of the Moscow Conservatory for many years, and then later he received a tenure to teach at the Conservatory of Skopje. So we would go every summer and do summer camps with him, and his artistry and insight left a significant lasting impression on my development and as a musician. I just wanted to say that after graduating from the academy, I was accepted in the State Conservatory of Music and Dance, which is one of the most prestigious institutions in Bulgaria. And there I started under the renowned pianist and pedagogue Yovchik Khrushchev, who is a Bulgarian virtuoso pianist. His guidance has had a profound influence on both my technique and musical interpretation.
So when you finished there, you came to the United States at some point. What was the motivation to go to the University of Michigan and do the master in piano performance there, maybe as opposed to some other places?
I chose University of Michigan because I studied there with Arthur Green, who is one of the legendary pianists. He won the Liszt piano competition, and I actually received full fellowship in University of Michigan.
Congratulations.
As well.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you. I've also had heard wonderful things about the institution. I have really fond memories there, and I want to name few people that have had like a really deep impact on my understanding and my musicianship. This is like Ehud Dur, who was a professor of composition and theory. Edward Parmentier, I studied with him harpsichord. He's an exceptional musician. He graduated from Juilliard, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody make sounds like him on the harpsichord. The harpsichords just sound so musical and amazing. He has this incredible technique of voice leading to create dynamic.
And so when you finished your master's degree, you had probably an option to continue to do a doctorate or to not do that. What was your decision to do that one way or the other? And what would you advise other people in that same situation to consider?
So when I finished my master's degree, actually, I had a job offer. And that's a pretty big thing, especially in your early 20s. I was on the faculty of University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I received a full-time offer. So I decided to put the pursuit of doctoral degree on hold because as a foreigner, you want to make sure that, I had to make living, and also I had to get a visa. And then that's how, like at the university, I got sponsored for my green card and later my citizenship. And I worked at the university for 10 years. And I start really having this craving for the stage. I was just as a full-time, professor. I was working so many different things. I was actually working with the opera. I was at some point I was the artistic director of the opera. I was teaching lessons. I had a class of 30 students, piano students. I was playing for very busy for the choir, coaching singers. I mean, I feel like I've done it all. Ever since I was 3 years old, I knew I wanted to be on stage. I love performing. And at age 3, I was just dreaming to just be there on stage like Horowitz or Richter and just perform. It's like a really my place. I feel happy there. And I was introduced to Alan Smith, the head of the collaborative department at USC. So I applied for the doctoral program there. And then I started working with Alan, and we lost him actually a few years ago, which is a great loss for our world. But he really changed my way of thinking music and particularly performance.
Well, speaking of performances, I think you have some performances coming up the rest of this year in the fall, particularly. What should we look forward to, and where can we find some more information about what your schedule's like?
You can find more information on my website at www.kristinamarinova.com. I can also mention quickly the performances I'm doing. On August 1st, I'm performing at Tarrytown. I'm performing the Grateful Dead program. I'm very happy about this performance because I will be collaborating with an extraordinary visual artist, Maria Rizarska. I'm going to be presenting Maria's fractal mandala work along with my solo piano interpretations.
Very good.
We're trying to create a rich multi-sensory experience. Each visual piece is color-coded to correspond with the tonal centers of the music and to reflect its emotional essence, amplifying the shared space between sound and vision. Later in November 28th, I will be performing at Carnegie Hall. This is the second time I'm performing there.
Yeah, congratulations.
It's a great honor. Thank you. I'm especially looking forward to it. For me, this is a milestone. Like much of my journey, it reflects both, my classical training and my ongoing exploration of music, ability to bridge worlds, cultural, historical, and stylistic. There is a very important performance also coming up in October. It's going to be in Mill Valley in Sweetwater. That's one of the Grateful Dead monumental plays. They perform there a lot. Also, a lot of the members of the band live there.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm performing at the Jimmy's Jazz and Blues Music Club in New Hampshire. And that is also a wonderful, great venue. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Before we let you go, Kristina, what advice do you have for younger musicians, pianists maybe particularly, but other people who are looking to get into the symphonic world and also maybe make that crossover to other worlds as you have done?
I want to say, just connect to your inner self and really think what makes you special in this world and really try to bring it out for, to develop and to grow. In our busy world, we spend so much time concentrating on the outside things, on the outside world, that we really don't listen to our inner needs and to what really possess as artists. So I would say just find that special self and develop it and show it to the world and keep going. Just use every hardship as a learning opportunity, as a culprit to grow and learn.
Tricky to do that when the harpsichords present themselves to have a smile and keep on going. But that is what the Smile song says to do. So that is what we'll do. Kristina, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
You can get in touch with me through my website, which again is www.kristinamarinova.com.
That's great, Kristina. We're going to listen to some more of your piano playing on the way out. And we wish you the best for all those performances and your album and the sequel. And if there's anything we can ever do to be of help to you, just let us know.
Thank you, David, so much. Thank you. It was great talking to you.